John runs like a deer. Mateer is the best player in the country that was getting zero national coverage this season. Who has been talking about him is Coug Nation and any fan base who may want a new quarterback next season, as well as anyone who stayed up past their bedtime to watch some West Coast Cougar football this season. In all respect to the Heisman finalists this season, but Mateer absolutely deserved to be in the Heisman conversation, and with the news coming out today that John Mateer is entering the transfer portal, next year he will start to get that recognition that he deserves. Now don't get me wrong, if he were to stay at Washington State next season, he would still get that recognition, but ultimately he received an offer he can't refuse from an SEC school. The assumption at the moment is that it's the University of Oklahoma, where both the former WSU offensive coordinator in Ben Arbuckle, as well as the quarterback's coach in John Kusiewski, were brought over after the end of the regular season. And the word on the street now is that John was offered an NIL package of about $3 million from an unnamed SEC school. And as WSU, how are you supposed to compete with that? College athletics, college football, and the transfer portal at the moment is just broken. In the first week alone, there's been nearly 2,000 players that have entered the transfer portal, and it is an unregulated Wild West full of representatives from various universities sliding into players and families' DMs, regardless of if they're allowed to talk to players or not. Now, for example, a team like Washington State University preparing for a bowl game on December 27th is now without their starting quarterback, starting running back, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, defensive coordinator, running back coach. It's a complete mess and it makes bowl games irrelevant. But in the same light, it gives the opportunity to guys like Mateer to enter college as an unknown prospect, ball out in his first year starting, and receive life-changing money and opportunity. He's going from a 3-star quarterback prospect out of Little Elm High School in Texas to a 4-star transfer prospect and the most highly coveted quarterback in the country. In just his first season as a starting college quarterback, he had the most points responsible for in the entire country with 268 total points. Cam Ward was in second with 254. He had the most touchdowns responsible for with 44, 29 passing touchdowns, and 15 rushing touchdowns. He was tied for 4th most in passing touchdowns, 14th in passing yards, 9th in passing efficiency, 4th in quarterback rushing touchdowns, 6th in quarterback rushing yards. He was the only player in the country with 20-plus passing touchdowns and 10-plus rushing touchdowns. This is just the second time in WSU history a player accomplished this feat. He was the only player in the nation with 3,000-plus passing yards and 500-plus rushing yards. And in just one season starting, he is now the all-time WSU leader for quarterback rushing touchdowns with 15, and he had the second most rushing touchdowns for a WSU player in a single season out of anyone in history. Only 6 other players in the last 28 years in college football had over 3,000 passing yards while also having 25-plus passing touchdowns, 800-plus rushing yards, and 15-plus rushing touchdowns. 3 of those guys won the Heisman in Lamar Jackson in 2016, Johnny Manziel in 2012, and Tim Tebow in 2007. And over the last 17 seasons, including this year, the nation's touchdown leader won the Heisman 9 of those times. But fans of other teams will not know that John Mateer had a huge learning curve this season. Washington State University gave him that opportunity to grow, and the WSU coaching staff deserves the credit. So where do we go from here? Well, first off, we're still waiting for official confirmation from John that this is what is happening, but that press conference will be coming at any moment. WSU fans, I am right there with you. I am pissed off, I'm fired up, and this makes me want to help in any way possible with the Cougar Collective to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. We all can do our part to help Cougar Nation, but again, something absolutely has to change. This also means that we should be seeing the first start from Jackson Potter in the Holiday Bowl, and a lot of those number 2s from this year will be getting the starting reps. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the move of John Mateer. As always, go Cougs, and we'll see you in the next one.